Chapter 439 Wutong, Fuse. Hua Yuan nodded gently, a little excited. This was what he had hoped for many years. After taking in a deep breath, Hua Yuan looked at Princess Juju seriously and said, Your Highness, I still want to add a few prerequisites. Everything I mentioned earlier only applies to me. Furthermore, I don't need you to promise me a knighthood right now. I'm willing to follow the rules of the Douluo Empire and earn my position and status through my own merits. I won't be an exception. However, I'm only representing myself. At this moment, I'm only Hua Yuan. I've nothing to do with the Spirit Pagoda, Shrek Academy or the Tang Sect. At the same time, even if I become a knight in the Douluo Empire, I won't be controlled by the Empire. Similarly, I won't be under the command of the Empire. If you think this is acceptable, I'll accept this contribution and offer. Otherwise, I'd rather not take it. Everyone was confused by Hua Yuan's words. What does he mean? He wants to earn merits in his knighthood, but he's not willing to perform any services. Or rather, he would only perform services according to his own wishes. However, what's the significance of these things to him anyway? Then, Shu creased her brow slightly and asked, Yuao, can I ask what is this for? Although I'm a princess in the Douluo Empire, and I really hope that you would join the Empire, I'm also clear on your standing in the world of soul masters. There's no need for you to do this. If you want glory, money or wealth, it's very easy. Why did you choose the Douluo Empire? Hua Yuan calmly replied, I have my own reasons. First, I'm from the Douluo Empire. When he said this, the look on all the soul masters' faces became much gentler. This Hua Yuan is also part of the Douluo Empire. I guess he just wants to contribute to his country. In addition, everyone felt closer to him upon learning that he was from the Douluo Empire. Shu already knew that Hua Yuan was from the Douluo Empire. When she met Hua Yuan during the first Elite Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy tournament, she had checked on his background, where he had filled in his country of origin as the Douluo Empire. Of course, it was different back then when he was saying it right now. This time it meant that he recognized the Douluo Empire. Hua Yuan continued, When I was young, I had a dream of becoming a general. This is my wish. I hope that I'll be able to become a general and a marshal through my own hard work. Right now, I'm willing to use my own abilities to slowly realize this wish. I hope that I'll be able to lead my own army like the White Tiger Duke and make my name prominent. This reason seemed convincing enough, at least to ordinary people. However, when he said this, everyone from the Tang Sect felt that it was very weird. Wasn't Hua Yuan already very prominent? In addition, could the position of a general or marshal really be compared to a truly powerful soul master? No matter how capable the White Tiger Duke was in terms of leading his own army, his reputation couldn't compare to the master of the Sea God's Pavilion, much less an ultimate Douluo. Those in the Tang Sect who were very familiar with Hua Yuan knew that he was bound to become an ultimate Douluo in the future. However, he requested the right to earn military merits and be knighted by the Douluo Empire. Suddenly, everyone was confused. There was an intent look on his face as he glanced at the White Tiger Duke. Yes, he could only use this method to fulfill his dream now. Among those present, the only person who could really understand Hua Yuan's intentions was probably his younger brother, Dalu. When Hua Yuan said all this, the look in Dalu's eyes became complex. Elder brother, what do you want? Do you really want to compete with Dad? What kind of ending are you hoping for? His acceptance and recognition of Hua Yuan had already surpassed his feelings toward Dai Yuheng and Dai Huobin in just one short month of interaction. Even though Hua Yuan had used hellish methods to nurture him, he could sense Hua Yuan's concern and sincerity in his relentless instruction. His life had completely changed after 1 month, and so he completely trusted Hua Yuan. On one side, there was his biological father. On the other side was his elder brother, who he trusted a lot. Suddenly, he was very confused. On whose side should he stand? Dalu also wasn't clear what Hua Yuan wanted in the end, or to what extent he would go to. Princess Juju took a deep look at Hua Yuan, then nodded gently before saying, All right, I agree to your demands. You can follow the Douluo Empire's rules to win your position. However, we won't restrain you. As long as you're willing, you can do whatever you want. I only have one demand, or rather, one request. When there's a national crisis, I hope you'll offer your help. Be a hero and protect your country. Hua Yuan nodded slightly when he saw the passionate look in Shu Juju's eyes and answered, I won't claim to be a hero, but I'll stand up for my country if there's a crisis. I'll do it. I'll prove it with my actions. The White Tiger Duke was watching closely Hua Yuan and said, That's a deal. Then, when you complete this reconnaissance mission, the princess and I will celebrate for you. I'll personally pen down your contributions, and I hope that we'll watch the rise of a heroic general in the future. The Douluo Empire needs a talent like you. He was really happy. If Hua Yuan was just being patronizing, he wouldn't be able to convince the White Tiger Duke. However, Hua Yuan's immense spiritual power had already fully convinced the White Tiger Duke. He felt that there really was hope when he saw Hua Yuan. As he spoke, the White Tiger Duke lifted the cup in front of him. We can't drink in the face of a national crisis, so I'll use tea to replace alcohol. Let me toast you. I hope that you'll be successful. Hua Yuan also lifted his cup and toasted the White Tiger Duke. He calmly said, Thanks. The White Tiger Duke smiled slightly after taking a sip of his tea. Kid, I wonder where you hail from since you're from the Douluo Empire? Hua Yuan paused for a moment before saying, I come from a village near the Douluo city. It isn't very notable. The White Tiger Duke smiled and said, It's really rare for a small village to nurture a talent like you. Hua Yuan clenched his fist and immediately repressed his urges. He calmly replied, Duke, Your Highness, we've rushed throughout our entire journey. Let's end the day here, shall we? Let me ready myself before I start my mission within these 2 days. What do you think? All right, great. The White Tiger Duke was a firm believer of actions are louder than words. Seeing that Hua Yuan wasn't wishy-washy, he was even more impressed by him. He patted his shoulder tightly and instructed Dai Yuheng to find Hua Yuan and the others a place to rest. As they were from Shrek Academy, the tents that were arranged for them were very good. Every one of them was given a tent that was normally given to the commanding officer of a Soul Engineer Legion. Every tent was close to 50 square meters in size and furnished with a table and a bed. There were even a few simple decorations. This was the best treatment they could possibly get in wartime. Everyone from the Tang Sect didn't rush to rest immediately. Instead, they congregated in Hua Yuan's tent. Little Junior, what were you doing today? Shu Sanchi couldn't help but ask when he entered Hua Yuan's tent. Hua Yuan was being very abnormal when he asked for merits and a position in the Douluo Empire. Hua Yuan forced a smile and replied, Third Senior, this really is my hope for the future. I don't have any other intentions. Please understand. Furthermore, I won't affect the Academy or the Tang Sect due to my relationship with the Douluo Empire. Seeing the complex look in Hua Yuan's eyes, Shu Sanchi stopped his interrogation. He clasped Hua Yuan's shoulder before saying, Yuao, we won't force you if you're not willing to say anything. We trust you. However, you can find someone to talk to if you're feeling sad. You'll feel better now. No matter who you choose, we'll keep things a secret. Okay, thanks, Third Senior. I'm fine. Apart from Tang Wutong, who wasn't very familiar with Hua Yuan, the rest naturally trusted him. Although everyone was surprised by his actions today, they didn't doubt him. The others didn't even ask him anything at all. Everyone returned to their own tents to rest. Hua Yuan sat behind his table and looked a little dazed. Have I finally taken this step? Can I finally earn my own merits through my hard work? According to Shu Juju's promise, he would be able to earn merits faster than he had planned. After this mission was over, he should be able to earn his knighthood, even if it was just an ordinary one. Dai Hao, you know I'm doing this just to surpass you. I want to become a hero of the Douluo Empire, a hero that's more outstanding than you. When that day comes, I'll return to the Duke's mansion with my chest held high. I'll get back what my mother deserves. As he considered that, he clenched his fists, and the thoughts in his head cleared. His immense spiritual power surged in his spiritual sea, and his soul power also circulated throughout his entire body. Suddenly, the mysterious aura that he had once sensed in the Spirit Pagoda seemed to have subtly appeared again. Hua Yuan was shocked and quickly jolted himself out of that state. A smile slowly formed at the edges of his lips. DTN, even you can't continuously monitor me through your reverse scale. If I'm not wrong, I can obtain the aura of that world a second and third time, since I was able to do it the first time. But it won't be now. I won't let you sense anything anymore. After sitting for a short while, Hua Yuan stood up and walked out of his tent. It was already the middle of the night. Although he was fatigued from rushing the whole day, he wasn't overly drained, given that he held an immense power of life inside. But he looked a little dazed as he walked towards a tent beside his. Tang Wutong was in that tent. Dai Yuheng didn't know that she was Tang Wutong instead of Wang Donga. In his heart, he thought that Wang Donga and Hua Yuan were a couple. When he arranged the tents, he naturally arranged for the both of them to be together. Donga, are you asleep? Huro Yuao silently thought to himself, after he was distracted by the white tiger Duke earlier, and after Shu Sanchi talked to him, he really wanted someone to confide in right now. Naturally, the person that he looked to was the person he loved the most. He slowly walked towards Tang Wutong's tent. When he reached her tent, he stopped for a moment and hesitated. After this, he gently slapped the curtains of the tent. The curtains were made of cloth, and thus not much sound was made. However, it was enough for Soul Masters, who had good hearing. Tang Wutong's voice sounded. Who is it? Wutong, are you asleep? Huro Yuao asked softly. Tang Wutong was silent for a moment, then said, it's already so late. What are you doing here? Huro Yuao replied, I have something to discuss with you regarding our reconnaissance mission tomorrow night. If it's not convenient, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Tang Wutong answered without any hesitation. Then let's leave it for tomorrow. I don't want to know your secret, and I'm not interested in being your confidant. Huro Yuao was slightly stunned, and found it a little amusing. It turned out that she believed Huro Yuao had listened to Shu Sanchi's words and was treating her as his confidant. He was a little helpless as he shook his head and said, rest, then, good night. After he finished speaking, he walked towards his own tent. There was a lost look on his face. How good would it be if she was still Donga? At least I could still get some comfort while being in her soft and warm embrace. My Donga, when will you return? As he thought until here, Huro Yuao was a little confused. Why can I sense Kua, apart from just Donga, in Tang Wutong's body? Just as he walked towards his own tent, he heard something. Huro Yuao subconsciously turned around and saw Tang Wutong, who had already switched into a long white dress, standing in front of her tent. The moon was very beautiful tonight. The bright moonlight made her appear very quiet and calm as it fell on her, whereas her pinkish blue hair and eyes were the most beautiful ornaments in this bright night. Tang Wutong looked at Huro Yuao calmly and said, on account of your baked bun, I'll let you speak. However, I'm only letting you speak until one incense stick finishes burning. Even though Huro Yuao knew that she had misunderstood him and thought that he wanted to confide in her, he still immediately walked over in front of her. He would never give up on any opportunity to get closer to Tang Wutong. Hey, don't get so close. Seeing that Huro Yuao was almost a meter in front of her, Tang Wutong quickly raised her hand and warned him from getting any closer. Huro Yuao stopped and watched the wary look in Tang Wutong's eyes. He was a little dazed, and subconsciously said, Donga, you're beautiful. Tang Wutong was stunned for a moment. After this, she furrowed her brow, glared and shouted furiously, who is your Donga? Humph. After she finished speaking, she turned around and wanted to enter her own tent. Huro Yuao only reacted at this moment. He rushed to stretch his hand out and grabbed her wrist. He anxiously said, I'm sorry, I got the wrong person. It's perhaps because I miss her too much. Tang Wutong twisted her head and coldly said, let go. At this instant, the expression in her eyes caused Huro Yuao to be stunned once again. The cold look and tone in her voice were just like Wang Kua when he saw her for the first time. Huro Yuao was confused once again. Donga, Kua, Donga, Kua. These two names kept on alternating in his mind. Everything was too difficult to understand right now. Her condition is obviously like Donga, but her actions and words remind me of both Donga and Kua. Donga's beauty, kindness, vibrancy and cuteness, but also Kua's aloofness. When they combine, it seems like Tang Wutong is a completely different person. Huro Yuao subconsciously let go of her hand and was a little tormented as he lowered his head. He said, I'm sorry, I recognized the wrong person. You look too alike to my lover. That's why. It's okay. You don't have to explain anymore. I've heard such words many times before. There's still 2/3 of the incense stick left. If you've something to say, please hurry up. But I don't want to listen to what happened between you and your ex-girlfriends. Ex-girlfriends? My only lover is Donga. Tang Wutong was a little rushed as she interrupted him. I already told you that I don't want to listen to any of that. All right. Huro Yuao couldn't adapt to her coldness and assertiveness. However, he soon got over it. I'm not actually here to confide in you. I can settle my own problems. I don't need to burden anyone with my personal problems. Tang Wutong was a little doubtful as she asked, then what are you finding me for? Huro Yuao was serious as he replied, Wutong, when I saw you for the first time, there's another reason why I mistook you for someone else. It was because I could sense that your soul power was very close to mine. It seems like it confused with mine. It confused with yours. Tang Wutong retracted the cold look on her face and appeared a little pensive. Are you saying that our martial souls confuse? How is that possible? The tier of your martial soul is so low. It can't be possible that we confuse. Huro Yuao was a little speechless as he said, I have twin martial souls. One of them is even of ultimate ice. How is it possible that it's too low? Tang Wutong lifted her head and flicked her hair before saying, it's just low. Her pampered behavior made her seem more domineering, but in a good way. Huro Yuao was a little helpless as he replied, all right, it's low. However, I really feel that our martial souls confuse. Can we give it a try? If possible, we might be able to increase our fighting strength greatly in future missions. We are both soul sages. When two soul sages unleash a fusion skill, along with your strong martial soul, the effect will undoubtedly be very great. Tang Wutong creased her eyebrows slightly and asked, how do you want to try it? Then, Huro Yuao answered, simple. I just need to place my palm on yours. After that, we'll just need to try connecting our soul power. If our martial souls confuse, our soul power will fuse first. Tang Wutong was a little doubtful as she looked at him and asked, you're not doing this just to get close to me, right? Huro Yuao laughed bitterly. Am I that stupid? There are plenty of reasons I could have used if that were the case. Why would I use the thing that's the most improbable? I really think that our martial souls confuse. Let's try. If you're still doubtful, we can do it outside your tent. We don't have to enter your tent. Tang Wutong hesitated for a moment when she saw the patrol guards that had just walked past before saying, we can try, but we shall void the bet that I just made with you today. If you agree to this, I'll let you enter my tent and give it a go. Huro Yuao didn't even hesitate, and nodded. Okay, it's a deal. Huro Yuao didn't claim anything after Shu Sanchi beat Ji Juikin earlier, but Tang Wutong remembered their bet. She didn't want to owe him anything, and thus she proposed this idea. When Huro Yuao first suggested the bet, he was doing it for this. Using martial soul fusion to find out whether Tang Wutong was Wang Donga was the most direct and reliable method. Perhaps he could even use martial soul fusion to tell if she was Wang Kua. Of course, Huro Yuao didn't believe that she was Wang Kua. After all, Wang Kua had already sacrificed herself, and her body had disappeared. His skull bone was even given to him by Wang Kua. Tang Wutong said, all right, follow me in then. Remember, don't even think of trying anything funny. Otherwise, you'll regret it. As she spoke, she walked into her tent. Huro Yuao quickly followed her. Right now, he was very tense. This was because this was very important to him. If Tang Wutong's martial soul couldn't fuse with his, it was likely that she wasn't Wang Donga. That was not something that Huro Yuao hoped for either. After walking into the tent, Tang Wutong pointed to the ground and stated, let's do it on the ground. As she spoke, she retrieved a mat from her storage type soul tool and placed it on the ground. She sat on it and pointed to the ground in front of her. Huro Yuao nodded and sat down in front of her. Tang Wutong lifted her hands and said coldly, let's start. Huro Yuao was evidently a little tense. However, if he didn't try, he wouldn't be relieved at all. It was important for him to find out who Tang Wutong was. He took a deep breath and circulated his soul power. Under the command of his spiritual power, it started surging in his body. Huro Yuao lifted his hands and gently pressed them against Tang Wutong's palms. As their eyes met, it was obvious that the look in Tang Wutong's eyes was very cold, whereas Huro Yuao looked very passionate. Donga, she must be Donga. As he thought, Huro Yuao slowly summoned his mysterious heaven technique and poured it into Tang Wutong's body. Tang Wutong didn't resist and allowed Huro Yuao's soul power to enter her body. After that, she summoned her own soul power. Huro Yuao's soul power was blocked by a passageway in her forearms. Of course, she couldn't let Huro Yuao's soul power circulate freely inside her, the equivalent of handing her life over to him. She only allowed him to test whether they could fuse in the passageways of her forearm. Huro Yuao could clearly sense that Tang Wutong's soul power flowed in a structured manner, and there was even an aura of elegance about it. When their soul powers first came into contact with each other, Tang Wutong's soul power displayed strong discrimination towards Huro Yuao's soul power. It was like it wanted to force his soul power out of her body. Huro Yuao was stunned to find out that Tang Wutong was right. While his soul power wasn't any less powerful than hers. There was some kind of gap between them. This was a result of the difference between the blood lineages of their martial souls. How is this possible? I have twin martial souls, and I even possess ultimate ice. Moreover, I've fused with 4 spirits, which has significantly modified my martial soul. How is it possible that the tier of my martial soul is so much weaker than hers? Initially, his soul power would immediately fuse with Guangdong's soul power when they first came into contact with one another, turning into Haodong power that would circulate through their bodies. This greatly increased their cultivation speed. To a large extent, the reason why Huo Yua's cultivation speed was able to rise so quickly was because of the Haodong power. However, the situation seemed to have completely changed now. The circulation of soul power in Tang Wutong's body was presented as an elegant, purplish gold color. During the process of circulation, her body exuded a dim, purplish gold glow. Huo Yua could even sense that the soul power circulating in her body was subtly rocking with the sound of a dragon roaring. Amid this rocking movement, Huo Yua's soul power was crushed before it could return to his body. Even though it would reform very quickly, it wasn't able to move an inch forward in Tang Wutong's body, much less complete any fusion. It was like they were supposed to be distinctly separated. As Tang Wutong's wrist trembled slightly, the soul power in her body started to circulate at a greater intensity. Huo Yua moved back 3 feet, as if he had been pushed. Tang Wutong's body slightly shone with a purplish gold glow, and an image of a golden trident flashed on her forehead before disappearing. She twisted her lips and said, "I've already told you that your martial soul can't fuse with me. Your instincts were wrong. If you really had some sort of sensation, I would experience the same sensation too. You can leave now." Huo Yua sat where he was in a daze. The expression on his face remained the same, and his entire body seemed to have turned into a statue. He was completely motionless. Tang Wutong furrowed her brow. "Hey, why aren't you leaving yet?" Huo Yua slowly lowered his arms, and Tang Wutong could tell that his face had turned completely pale. It was as if he had lost his life energy. As he slowly stood up, Huo Yua walked towards the exit of the tent with a pale look on his face. When he drew open the curtains and walked out, he staggered and almost fell down. After this, his steps were very shaky as he walked away from the tent. He didn't even utter a word to Tang Wutong. Tang Wutong was stunned as she watched him leave. She was stunned to find out that she felt a little heartbroken for some unknown reason. Am I feeling heartbroken for him? How is this possible? Do I have to feel this way? Our martial souls are just incompatible, aren't they? Why does he look like he just lost his wife? What she didn't know was that Huo Yua didn't sense anything similar between her and Wang Dong's soul power as their martial souls failed to fuse. To him, it was indeed as if he had lost his wife. Tang Wutong isn't Donga. Tang Wutong isn't Donga. Tang Wutong isn't Donga. This thought repeated itself in Huo Yua's head. He seemed as if he had lost his soul. He was completely in a trance right now. He didn't even know how he made his way back to his tent. After he returned, he laid down on his own bed and didn't move at all. It was as if he already lost his soul. As he lay on his bed, Huo Yua didn't know when he started to fall asleep. However, he felt as if his life energy had been completely drained as he fell asleep. After Huo Yua left, Tang Wutong also stood up and put her mat away. She muttered to herself, "This fellow is ridiculous. The possibility of fusion between 2 soul masters is naturally close to 0. What's there to be so depressed about?" However, he really looks to have been in poor shape earlier. After sitting down on her bed, Tang Wutong started to meditate and began her cultivation for the night. Second day, morning. Tang Wutong stretched her back and body before she jumped out of bed. After a night of meditation, her fatigue had completely disappeared. As she stretched her body, she couldn't help but let out a groan. After she reached the exit of her tent, she drew the curtains aside and allowed fresh air to flow into her tent. That fellow didn't sleep the entire night. Tang Wutong subconsciously turned her attention towards the tent beside hers just as she walked out of her tent. She couldn't help but think of Huo Yua's pale face when he left the previous night. Just at this moment, the curtains of the tent beside hers were also drawn open. Tang Wutong quickly turned her gaze away. Huo Yua also exited his own tent. As he stood in front of his tent, he also stretched out. Tang Wutong glanced at him out of the corner of her eye. When she saw him, he seemed to have returned to normal. The expression on his face was very calm. Huo Yua turned his gaze towards Tang Wutong and nodded at her before saying, "Good morning. Good morning." Tang Wutong acknowledged automatically. Huo Yua smiled courteously before walking towards the canteen that Dai Yueheng had pointed out to them the day before. They were allocated the canteen that served high-ranking military officers. Soul masters were different from ordinary people. Their food requirements were much more demanding. In order to ensure that their soul masters possessed sufficient fighting strength, the Daluo Empire naturally provided them with the best food possible. Tang Wutong felt as if Huo Yua had changed when she saw him walking past her. However, he's still wearing a smile like he normally does. But why do I feel as if he's different? Alienation. Yes, it's alienation. He's no longer as friendly as before. The look in his eyes isn't as gentle as before. As she recalled the first time she met him, she could still remember that he would look at her whenever she was around. However, this wasn't the case earlier. Even though he had looked at her earlier, he had quickly retracted his gaze. After greeting her, he quietly left. The look in his eyes was very calm, but this calm look left Tang Wutong feeling a little uncomfortable. I've not done anything wrong. This fellow. Humph. Huo Yua finished washing up and quietly went to the canteen. Their breakfast was very scrumptious. He sat in one corner alone and ate. However, he started feeling emotional. Only one sentence had repeated itself in his mind the entire night. She isn't Donga. Donga, where's my Donga? Tang Wutong and Donga's soul powers were very different. His heart felt very cold. He felt as if he had lost everything he had. As the saying goes, the greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. If Tang Wutong isn't Donga, where is Donga? Initially, Tang Wutong's appearance had made him feel very optimistic and confident in this mission. However, after last night's incident, sorrow and yearning filled his heart once again. In addition, it became even more intense. Tang Wutong was also in the canteen. She entered not long after Huo Yua did, and intentionally sat far away from him to eat her own breakfast. However, she couldn't help but glance at him. She wanted to see if he was acting, and whether he would look at her. However, she was disappointed. What she saw was a Huo Yua who ate his breakfast silently, and had a hollow look in his eyes. After eating his breakfast, Huo Yua left and returned to his tent. Tang Wutong pushed her cutlery away in front of her and creased her brow. What's wrong with him? Does he have to be so affected just because our martial souls can't fuse? If that were the case, why would Shrek Academy look upon him so highly? Is he mentally ill? No, I have to ask him what's going on. Just as she couldn't figure things out, Jiang Nanan and Shu Sanchi came in. Hey, Wutong. We just saw Huo Yua leave. Why didn't you leave with him? Shu Sanchi said naturally. Tang Wutong snorted and replied, "Why would I do so?" Shu Sanchi chortled. "Are you throwing a tantrum again?" Tang Wutong suddenly thought of something and asked Shu Sanchi, "Shu Sanchi, let me ask you a question." Shu Sanchi, curious, asked, "Me? What do you want to know?" Jiang Nanan also stopped because she was curious. She turned her attention towards Tang Wutong. Tang Wutong said, "If a person thinks that his martial soul can fuse with another soul master's, but fails after trying, will he be greatly affected?" Shu Sanchi answered without any hesitation, "Of course not. That's very normal. Martial soul fusion isn't that easy." Jiang Nanan also nodded. Tang Wutong was indignant as she replied, "Yes, that's what I thought. However, somebody doesn't think this way." He acted as if he had just lost his wife. Shu Sanchi and Jiang Nanan looked at each other and felt that something was amiss. Jiang Nanan probed, "Wutong, surely you aren't talking about Huo Yua, right?" Tang Wutong snorted. "Who else? Last night, he came to find me and said that he thinks that our martial souls might possibly fuse. He insisted on trying. I claimed that it wasn't possible, but he didn't believe me. In the end, we failed even after trying. He seemed to have lost his soul as he left. This morning, he ignored me and seems to be a new person. Tell me, is there even anyone like him? All of you still praise him to the high heavens. A soul master who can't even control himself. How good can he be?" Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below with suggestions on what novels to read.